Hey guys and gals, this is George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man, and one of my subscribers had asked me a little while ago, like, good thing I'm doing this, I forgot to turn my tank off. Every time you're done using it, for any amount of time, you need to turn your gas off so it doesn't run out on you. Anyway, one of my subscribers asked me if I would do a review on my Klutch Mig welder. This is the welder that I was able to buy as a result of selling the Goofy cart. Not the Goofy cart. I'm getting them mixed up. The Gadget bike. As you can see by the label on the side, this is inverter powered. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but it can do both MIG welding, which is with the argon carbon dioxide mixture of gas, or it can do flux core, but I still have my Harbor Freight flux core that I will use if I have a need to go outside to do something, or it's not necessary to have clean welds on something in particular. And there were several reasons why I chose this one. One was the price. It was more expensive than Harbor Freight, less expensive than Hobart, and this particular machine came from Northern Tool, and it was on sale, and with the tax and everything, by the time I was done, I think it cost around $400. And one of the reasons that I chose this, and I did a fair amount of investigation, I was looking for quality as well as for price. And the first thing I started looking for was the grounding clamp. And you can see that this is pretty substantial. I'm going to walk you over and show you the grounding clamp on my Harbor Freight. Let's see if I can get it out here. Got a bunch of other junk piled in here. Look at that. That's basically a cheap set of jumper cables, and I did say cheap. Notice the size. Notice the size of the cord. It does the job, but it's certainly not my clutch. And my clutch always comes through. You can see one of the things I don't like about this is the power switches in the back, which is rather inconvenient. If it were my druthers, I would have it in the front where the other switches are. So, as well as being concerned about the grounding cable, I was also concerned with the pickup spool inside. And when we bought this, my son graciously bought a huge roll of wire, and that's going to last me for a long time. But one of the main issues I had with my Harbor Freight machine was this drive unit was all plastic. The rollers were not plastic, but the housing was all plastic. This one is aluminum, cast aluminum. And I noticed in my investigations that the better quality machines had aluminum housings for their drive wheels. And so I was happy to see that. Plus, it's set up so you can use the large 8-inch wheel. And let me swing you around here to the front. It has several features on it that I haven't used all of them yet. Right off the bat, the first thing you see is the wire feed speed right there. Oh, and by the way, on the inside of the door down here, it does have a chart for telling you what wire speed to set it at, what size wire to use, and also the voltage settings. And which brings us to our next knob. Sorry that this is the way my cart is set up. This is my homemade cart made out of an old two-wheel dolly. The next knob is voltage knob, and when you're doing heavier stuff you have your voltage cranked up all the way. And then the third knob, which I haven't had the opportunity to use yet, but I'm looking forward to doing it, and this would be great if you're doing body work, is a spot timer, so that it would just bzz, stop, bzz, stop, bzz, stop, so that you would have even and consistent spot welds right across the panel, and for other things too. And then right above it we have, see if I can read it here, it has a switch on and off for spool gun. It is spool gun ready if I wanted to get into that doing aluminum welding. And then it has the switch for the spot timer, and that's normally off when you're using the MIG welder in its standard configuration. It goes up to 140 amps, as you can see right there, and that's pretty good considering that this is a 110 machine. And so with the kind of stuff that I do here in the shop, this is very efficient. And I had debated about whether or not to get a larger bottle, but this one is really doing the trick for me. I don't use it a whole lot, but when I do, it's very, very handy. I made some modifications to my cart. If you go back in my archives, you'll see when I built this cart, I originally just had the leg down in the front here, and the leg is made out of an old Stilson wrench, as you can see. And but it was tipped up. I had it tipped back so everything would stay in. Well, with the tank on here, I wanted it pretty well level, and I didn't want to have to be lifting it all the time, so I put on a set of dolly wheels. I can't remember exactly where those dolly wheels came from, but you know, nice double pair. And I needed to get some more clearance to get underneath my shelf over there where I do my recycling, and I have my sandblaster under there, and also an old pressure washer. And as you can see, I still had to notch it out, which is not a big deal because there's not much weight on that shelf. But the only reason I had to notch it out was for the tank and the gauges. And by putting a smaller set of wheels on here, it dropped it down several inches. I think it dropped it down overall between that and dropping the front and making it more or less level. It tips back still a little bit. I think I dropped it about 3 inches. So yeah, I'm really happy with this welder. Does a super nice job. No comparison between this and flux core, which is so messy and sloppy. But yeah, I'm liking it, and I've had it now for what, 2 or 3 months, and I have no complaints. Once I got it set up properly, it works flawlessly, and I'm very happy with the consistency of it. So there you have it, my review and my assessment of Klutch MIG welder, inverter powered. And you can buy these from Northern Tool. We have one here locally, about 10 miles from where I live. So it was an easy pickup for me. Thanks for watching. Hope this was helpful to you. Bye now. And there she is, all tucked into place.